Hello, my dear friends, Harold here. I still remember it like it was yesterday, the day after my heart attack. I was lying in my hospital bed, and my cardiologist sat down beside me. He didn't talk about pills or procedures. He looked me straight in the eye and said something that, all these years later, still echoes in my mind at every meal. Mr. Harold, from now on, what you put in your mouth is more important than any pill we prescribe for you. At the time, I just nodded along, thinking I understood. You know, eat more greens, cut back on salt, stay away from fried foods. We've all heard that advice, haven't we? I thought I was doing everything right. But I was wrong. Dangerously wrong. It turns out the world of food is not that simple. There are food pairings, combinations of foods that are incredibly healthy on their own, but when we eat them together in the same meal, they can become a silent trap. A trap for our hearts, for our blood vessels, and for the very medications we rely on every day. This is one of the most critical pieces of knowledge for senior health, yet it's something very few people talk about. A recent medical report revealed an alarming truth: 99% of people over 60 are unknowingly creating dangerous conflicts right on their dinner plates. These conflicts can silently spike the risk of high blood pressure, weaken the effect of your medication, and even worse, lead to unexpected heart attack symptoms or stroke warning signs. In today's video, I'm not going to use complicated scientific terms. Speaking from the experience of someone who has been to the edge and back, I'm going to share with you these 5 fatal food pairings. This isn't fearmongering from the internet. This is knowledge drawn from the most reputable medical advice. And the final pairing, number 1, is the very thing that caused my best friend John's blood pressure to skyrocket inexplicably, even though he was taking his medication every single day. When we finally discovered the reason, we were both astonished. I promise I'll tell you that entire story at the end of this video. This knowledge will change the way you look at your refrigerator and your kitchen forever. This is where we need to apply a little elderly wisdom to protect ourselves. And before we begin, please share a little with me. Where are you watching from? And have you ever felt a bit off, a little tired, after eating what you thought was a healthy meal? Please leave a comment below. I will be reading and replying to every single one, because on this health journey, we are not walking alone. Now, let's pour a cup of tea together and uncover the secrets hiding in our kitchens. Starting with dangerous pairing number 5. Let's imagine a typical morning together. You wake up, you take the blood pressure pill or the cholesterol medication your doctor prescribed. Then, to start your day off right, you pour yourself a beautiful, pinkish glass of grapefruit juice. You think to yourself, this is wonderful. I'm doing the best thing for my heart. Vitamin C, antioxidants, it feels like the perfect start. But, what I'm about to tell you might startle you. What if I told you that this very action, which seems so incredibly healthy, could be turning your life-saving medication into a potential danger? That combination, the glass of grapefruit juice and certain medications, is our dangerous pairing number 5. This isn't something I read in a tabloid, my friends. This is a serious medical warning from the FDA, the US Food and Drug Administration. Let me explain it in a grandfather's terms. Imagine your liver is like an incredibly busy factory, and inside that factory, there's a special team of workers whose job is to break down and process the pills we take, so our body absorbs just the right amount. However, the compounds in grapefruit juice, when they enter your body, are like an announcement for a strike. It orders that the entire diligent team of workers stop what they're doing for 24 to 48 hours. And what happens when the processing team is on strike? The pill you took doesn't get broken down. It just builds up, accumulating in your blood. The drug's concentration can spike to 3, 5, or even 10 times the safe level. Your healing medicine suddenly transforms into an overdose, which can cause terrible side effects like muscle pain, rhabdomyolysis, or even severe liver and kidney damage. My heart sinks whenever I think that someone, maybe my friends, or you watching this video, could be unknowingly putting themselves in harm's way just for a glass of juice. You think you're taking care of yourself, but you're doing the opposite. It's a silent tragedy. So, what is the solution? Do we have to give up all juices? Not at all. My advice, from an old friend to you, is this. First, carefully read the patient information leaflet that comes with your medicine, or ask your pharmacist this simple question: does this medication have any interactions with grapefruit juice? They will give you the most accurate answer. Second, if you're taking statins to lower cholesterol, like Lipitor or Zocor, or calcium channel blockers to control high blood pressure, the safest path is to say goodbye to grapefruit juice. Instead, a glass of orange, pineapple, or apple juice is just as delicious and nutritious, and it's completely safe. Our health at this age is precious as gold. Don't gamble with it over a habit. I would truly love to know, was this information helpful for you? If it were, would you please help me by commenting with the number 1 below? Just that one number lets me know that what I'm sharing is truly making a difference for our community. That brings me immense joy and motivation. Alright. Now, let's take a deep breath together, and we'll move on to the next dangerous pairing, a real battle that could be happening right now inside your bloodstream without you even knowing it. Take a look at this. It looks wonderful, doesn't it? This is the very picture of health. A crisp, green salad, packed with vitamins and minerals. Most doctors in the world would applaud if they saw us eating a plate like this every day. And they would be right. But, for the millions of us who are living with heart conditions, who have to take blood-thinning medication every single day, this seemingly innocent plate of salad can be a battlefield. A silent war is being fought right inside your blood vessels. And this is a dangerous pairing number 3, dark, leafy greens and blood-thinning medication, the most common of which is warfarin or Coumadin. I know this sounds absurd. How can something as healthy as green vegetables be harmful? This is one of the most common misunderstandings, a sweet trap that many of us seniors fall into. Let me tell you the story of our bloodstream. When your doctor prescribes a blood thinner, their goal is to make your blood flow more smoothly, like a gentle river, to prevent dangerous blood clots that can cause stroke warning signs or a pulmonary embolism. But dark, leafy greens like spinach, kale, or broccoli are loaded with vitamin K. And vitamin K is nature's clotting expert. It's the very thing that helps us stop bleeding when we get a cut. So, do you see the problem now? Your doctor's pill is trying to make the river flow gently. But your plate of salad is throwing rocks of vitamin K into that river, causing the flow to become turbulent. One side is trying to thin, the other is trying to thicken. They are at war with each other. And your body is caught in the middle. If you eat too many greens today, the effect of your medication is cancelled out, and the risk of forming a clot skyrockets. If you eat no greens at all tomorrow, the medication's effect becomes too strong, increasing the risk of bleeding and hemorrhaging. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty about eating vegetables. Not. I only want us, as friends, to become wiser together to protect ourselves. I have seen people end up in the emergency room simply because of a sudden change in their weekly vegetable intake. It's a deeply regrettable situation that is entirely preventable. This is the kind of elderly wisdom we need to arm ourselves with. So, what is the golden solution here? It's just one word: stability. Your doctor has adjusted your medication dose based on your typical diet. Therefore, do not make sudden changes. Don't eat a giant bowl of salad today, and then no greens at all for the rest of the week. Try to maintain a stable amount of greens each week. And most importantly, if you want to change your diet, talk to your doctor first. They will help you adjust your medication dose accordingly. That is how you intelligently take charge of your health. I know many people in our community love their vegetables. If you do too, please comment with the word greens below. Just one word, so I know we share this interest and are concerned about this issue together. Thank you. Now, let's move on to another dangerous pairing, one that involves a root vegetable that almost every household has in its kitchen. My dear friends, there are two foods that I believe are a part of the memories, a part of the lives, of so many of us. That is the sweet aroma of a ripe banana, and the comforting, warm flesh of a baked sweet potato. Almost every kitchen has a bunch of bananas or a few sweet potatoes, don't it? We eat bananas for energy, and we eat sweet potatoes because they're good for digestion. They are gentle, simple, and incredibly familiar friends. But within that very familiarity lies a danger we need to be aware of, especially for those of us who are taking medication for heart conditions or high blood pressure. And this is a dangerous pairing number 4, potassium-rich foods like bananas and sweet potatoes, combined with ACE inhibitor drugs, a very common medication for heart patients. I know, it's hard to understand, isn't it? We are always told that bananas are good for us precisely because they are rich in potassium. But the problem lies in that very word, rich. Let me use this image to make it easier to understand. Imagine your body is a glass, and potassium is the water inside it. Our heart needs just the right level of water to function properly. The ACE inhibitor pills your doctor prescribes have an important job, to help your body hold on to potassium. In other words, it helps keep your glass from losing water. But if, at the same time, you are eating one banana after another, eating sweet potatoes every day, it's no different than continuously pouring more water into a glass that is already nearly full. And when that glass overflows, trouble begins. An excess of potassium in the blood can become a silent burden on the heart. It can cause an irregular heartbeat, a heart that beats too fast or too slow, and even dangerous heart palpitations that many people might mistake for typical heart attack symptoms. What worries me the most is how unintentional this is. Because bananas and sweet potatoes are so familiar, we eat them without a second thought. We don't realize we might be putting our hearts in a difficult position. We don't recognize that the sudden fatigue or palpitations could be coming from these very healthy foods. So, what should we do? Must we say farewell to these familiar friends? My answer is no. We don't need to be so extreme. We just need to be more wise. Moderation is key. One banana a day is perfectly fine. A small sweet potato a few times a week is also okay. The problem is, too much and too often. Be aware, listen to your body. If you notice your heart seems a bit more unruly after eating these foods, take note and share it with your doctor. That isn't fear, that is wisdom. I have a fun little question for you, just to see how similar we are. If right now, in your kitchen, you have either bananas or sweet potatoes, would you please help me by commenting with the number 2? Just comment with the number 2 so I know that these familiar friends are also present in your home. Thank you for your warm interaction. And now, please prepare yourselves, because we are moving on to a pairing whose danger is even more subtle. It involves a habit that many of us have every single morning. Do you enjoy watching magic shows? I certainly do. I've always been fascinated by those vanishing acts, when something is right there in front of your eyes, and then suddenly, it disappears into thin air. But what if I told you that a dangerous magic trick is happening inside the bodies of millions of us every single morning? A magic trick that we are completely unaware of. The victim of this magic trick. It's the tiny thyroid pill you take. And the magician performing this trick? It's something we've always believed is very good for our bones, a glass of milk, a calcium supplement, or even a cup of coffee with milk. And that is dangerous pairing number 5, one of the most overlooked drug interactions, thyroid medication, levothyroxine, and calcium. This truly troubles me, because I know that many people in our community, especially the women, have to take thyroid medication daily while also supplementing with calcium to prevent osteoporosis. Everyone thinks they're doing two good things at once. But that's not the case. Let me explain how this magic trick works. Your thyroid pill is like a critically important letter that needs to be delivered to every cell in your body to tell them how to function. But calcium, whether it's from milk or a supplement pill, is like a type of super glue. When you take your thyroid medication and a calcium supplement too close together, this super glue, calcium immediately wraps around and sticks tightly to your bladder. It locks the pill up, preventing it from being absorbed into your bloodstream. And just like that, poof! That important letter never gets delivered. Your pill has disappeared before it could do anything useful. You're still taking your pill every day, but your body isn't getting any of it. You still feel tired, you gain weight, you lose hair, and you can't understand why the medication isn't working. This is an extremely common issue affecting senior health that not everyone is warned about. So, what is the solution here? We can't stop taking the medication, and we can't stop taking calcium. Fortunately, the solution is incredibly simple. It comes down to one number, a golden rule, that I want all of you to remember, the number 4. Wait at least 4 hours. Take your thyroid medication in the morning with a full glass of plain water. Then, wait at least 4 hours before you drink milk, take your calcium pill, or eat calcium-rich foods. A little tip I learned from a nurse friend: keep your thyroid pill right on your nightstand. Take it the moment you open your eyes in the morning. Then you can go about preparing breakfast, reading the paper, gardening, and save your glass of milk or calcium pill for a mid-morning snack or lunchtime. That amount of time is more than enough for your letter to be delivered safely. I'd like to ask a personal question. Is there anyone watching this video who has to take thyroid medication every day? If so, would you please just help me by commenting with the word "me" below? That will help me understand the friends in our community even better. Thank you so much. Now, take a deep breath. We are about to get to the final pairing, number 1. The story of my best friend, John, and the blood pressure trap from a food he thought was safe. Now, we have arrived at the final part. The most important part. I'd like you to forget for a moment that you're watching a health video. Instead, please allow me, as a friend, to tell you a story. A true story about my best friend, John. The story I promised you at the beginning of this video. John has the perfect patient. Truly. After being diagnosed with high blood pressure, he followed every single one of his doctor's orders. He took his medication on time, never missing a dose. He walked every morning. He completely cut out table salt, fried foods, and wouldn't touch a slice of bacon. He did everything right. And yet, something strange happened. Every time he went for a checkup, John's blood pressure was still sky high. The doctors were baffled. They increased his dose, then switched his medication. And John, he was both terrified and hopeless. He said to me, his voice full of despair, "Harold, I've done everything. Why is my body betraying me like this?" Seeing the worry in my friend's eyes, my heart ached. I knew I had to do something. One afternoon, I brought a notebook over to John's house and said, "Old friend, let's play detective for a day. Tell me exactly what you ate and drank yesterday." Breakfast, oatmeal with a few slices of banana. Very good. Snack, an apple. Perfect. Dinner, boiled chicken breast and steamed vegetables. Couldn't be healthier. And then, we got to lunch. John said, "For lunch, I keep it very light. Just a can of low-fat chicken soup, the canned kind for convenience." In that exact moment, a light went on in my head. I said, "John, is that can of soup still here?" He pulled the empty can from the trash. I turned it over. And we were both stunned when we looked at the tiny print on the nutrition label. The line for sodium. That one can of low-fat soup contained nearly 1,500 milligrams of sodium. That's almost the maximum amount of salt a person with a heart condition is allowed to have in an entire day. And this is dangerous pairing number 1, processed foods with hidden sodium, like canned soups, deli meats, and canned goods, and diuretic medications, a very common type of blood pressure pill. Let me explain this trap. John's diuretic worked by helping his kidneys flush excess salt, sodium, and water from his body, which reduces the pressure on his blood vessel walls. It's like trying to bail water out of a leaky boat. But that healthy bowl of soup was like taking a giant bucket and dumping seawater right back into the boat. One side is trying to flush salt out. The other is loading a massive amount of salt back in. They create a toxic, vicious cycle. John's body was in a constant state of sodium overload, which made his medication almost completely useless. After that day, John gave up canned goods entirely and started making his soup. 2 weeks later, his blood pressure dropped to a safe level for the first time. Seeing the relieved smile on my friend's face, I learned a crucial lesson about senior health. The most dangerous enemy sometimes hides under the disguise of healthy and convenient. So I want to ask you one final question. After hearing this story, do you want to start a habit of reading the nutrition labels on your food? If yes, please comment with the number 3. If you find this difficult, please comment with the number 4. There are no wrong answers, this just helps me better understand the challenges you face. Thank you for listening to my story. And now, let's summarize everything we've learned and, more importantly, what we're going to do with this knowledge. And so, we have walked this path together. We've discovered why a glass of grapefruit juice can be harmful, why a green salad can be a battlefield, and why a thyroid pill can sometimes mysteriously vanish. We listened together to the story of my friend and the sodium trap in his can of soup. Looking back on all of this, I know it can be a lot of information. Perhaps right now, you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, a little worried. But I want you to take a deep breath. Because my ultimate goal, the purpose of this video, is not to spread fear. My purpose is to give you something more precious than gold, freedom. Freedom from the worry of not knowing if you're eating right or wrong. Freedom from being completely dependent on pills without understanding your own body. The freedom to walk into your kitchen, look at your refrigerator, and feel confident, reassured, and in control of your health. But I'm an old man too, and I understand that remembering all of this isn't easy. We need a companion, a silent assistant right in our kitchen. That is why my team and I have created something special for you. We have put together a kitchen food safety cheat sheet. All 5 of these dangerous pairings and their safest solutions are summarized on just a single page. You can download it for absolutely free from the link I've placed in the description right below this video. Print it out, and use a magnet to stick it on your refrigerator door. Let it stay there, as a reminder, a silent guardian for your health and the health of your family. Every time you open the fridge, you'll see it and smile, knowing that you are doing the right thing. And if you feel that what I've shared has value, I invite you to join our Healthy Living with Harold family by clicking the subscribe button. Each video will be another conversation, another step on our journey to living healthier, happier, and more peaceful lives. Finally, I just want to ask, did this video truly bring value to you? If it did, please leave me a heart emoji, red heart, in the comments. Just one heart is enough to warm this old man's day. Remember my words, my friends, knowledge gives us power, but it is wisdom and care that bring us peace. Wishing you a truly peaceful day. Farewell, from Harold.